Thank you. That Galloway timer is so nice. I love it. I love getting to take my walk breaks. Hi. I hope you're having a good week. As you can see, I got some running in this week. I got to see some interesting creatures on my runs, and overall, it's been a pretty good week. I crossed the 200-mile barrier in my quest to run 300 miles in May, so that's pretty good for 13 days. And I finished the Yeti Ultra Challenge. I mentioned that last week, which was to run 6 times, 5 miles, but only starting every 4 hours. So I got up on Monday at midnight, I ran 5 miles, and then 4 hours later I ran again and again and again, and I'll show you some short video clips that I took during those runs. One of the things that I thought was interesting and I wanted to mention and talk to you guys about is GPS watches and GPS readings. I was inspired to talk about this because I noticed during my first run that I had run just a little over 5 miles. Now, this was a route that I knew pretty well, and I knew where I should turn around to make it 5 miles, but I'd gone a little bit further. So I decided on my next run to turn around at the exact same spot, using the exact same GPS watch, and see what distance I got. And it was a little bit different. And so all 6 legs, and I'll show you those maps, all 6 legs exactly the same. I started at the same spot, I ended at the same spot, I turned around at the same spot, and I got different distances. So, what does that tell me? It tells me that GPS watches are not as accurate as we want them to be. What was the difference? Was it just a few feet? Well, in 5 miles, the difference between the shortest run and the longest run was about 0.15 or 0.16 of a mile. So what difference does that make? Well, if you were to add that up and extrapolate that over the course of a marathon, it's a difference between crossing the finish line and saying, look, I ran 26.2 miles, and the person next to you saying, look, I ran 27 miles. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but those of you that run marathons, you know it is a big deal. And it really was brought home when a friend of mine recently was on course to run a 3-hour marathon, so he thought. He crossed the 26.2 mark according to his GPS watch a little bit under 3 hours, but he crossed the finish line of the race a little over 3 hours. And he really wanted the race director to tell him, oops, the course was measured wrong. Yes, we'll certify your time as being under 3 hours. Of course, there was no way that was going to happen. When a race course is certified, it's done using a bicycle and a Jones counter, and the course is calibrated. That bicycle rides a course of a known distance first, then measures the race and certifies that that distance is what it is. And it's actually just a hair over the actual race distance, but not enough that it matters to us when we're running it. That means that if you run and your watch says you went too far, you either did go too far because you didn't take the tangents quite right, or your watch is just a little bit off, and that happens. I've owned a lot of GPS watches. My first GPS watch was this Garmin. This was a Garmin 201. It was a great watch for its day. You can see it's pretty darn big. Then I moved up to this. I think this was the next one that I had. This is the Garmin 921, something like that, Forerunner. And then I moved up to this one. Maybe this is the 911, the 920 XT. I know that's what this is because it says it on the back. I've got this one. This is a Garmin 35, I think. I use an Apple Watch now. Why? Is it any better? No. It's just as accurate as the Garmin's. It's just as inaccurate as the Garmin's. I like it because I wear it all the time. I get phone calls on it. I get text messages on it. Sometimes that's annoying. As many miles as I've been putting in, I've gotten a lot of text messages during my runs, and that's a little bit annoying. But that's the cost of doing business and feeling like you have to do business while you're running. But I wanted to share this with you and just relieve you of any guilt you felt when you thought your pace was a little bit off, and also diffuse any anger that you might have had toward any race directors when you thought the course was wrong. Also, I want to point out that when you are looking to a Galloway pacer, or when you're asking me, or you're asking a Galloway program director, or you're asking Jeff Galloway himself, how fast do I need to run during my run segment in order to average the overall pace that you want me to average, we can't give you an exact number. And one of the reasons we can't give you an exact number is because you can't know an exact number, because your watch is not going to be able to tell you accurately to the second or to the foot how fast you're going or how far you've gone. What does that mean? That means enjoy your running. Just enjoy it. Don't get so caught up in the numbers. Don't get so caught up in the gadgets. Just enjoy your running. And I hope you are. I know I am. I'm going to show you what it was like doing my Yeti challenge this week. I got through it. It was a lot of fun. I encourage you guys to do something similar to that. I know there are a lot of interesting ultras out there that are gone virtual. I know there are a lot of interesting half marathons and 5Ks that have gone virtual. And there's some more that I know about that are coming out in the next couple of weeks that I'll be excited to talk about in the future. So have fun. Enjoy your running. And if you need me for anything, chris@jeffgalloway.com. Look forward to helping you, and look forward to seeing you again when we can run in groups sometime in the not too distant future. I started recording here because I'm coming up on Center Street. It's better light. So it's just a touch past 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm on leg 2 of the Yeti Challenge. 5 miles every 6 hours. And not so bad so far, but of course, a lot more to go. Okay, so it's a little bit after 8 a.m. and actually a little bit later after 8 a.m. than I wanted it to be. It's about 10 after, because I had to walk the dog, because the dog doesn't care what kind of running schedule I'm on. She needs to go out when she needs to go out. But this is leg 3 of 6 of the Yeti Challenge, and I don't know how I feel yet, because I just started the run. And just like every run that I do, I'm trying to let the first mile be an easy warm-up, especially right now, because I had a lot of miles on my legs, just not since midnight, but over the last 10 days. So easing into it and trying to enjoy myself, because if you're not having fun, there's no point in doing it. And I'm sorry for the bouncing, but I don't have any way of steadying my phone while I'm running. Oh, it's a pretty day. Nice, cool air. Of course, my next run will be noon, and we'll see what kind of temperatures we face at that point. Woo. See you then. All right, here we go. Just a touch past noon. Oops, I think my headphones aren't connected. Let's see if I can fix that. I'll fix it on a walk break, because I'd rather have my headphones connected. Try this again in a second. Okay, now I've got the headphones connected. That should make the audio a little bit better. So yes, it's just a little past noon, and man, it's warm out here. My son just got back from a run, and he warned me that it was, and he's right. It's 78 degrees. I'm certain it feels like it's warmer than that. And this is leg 4 of 6. for the Yeti Ultra Challenge, running 5 miles every 6 hours to make 30 miles. And the blessed walk break. I'm using 90-30 for these runs because I'm averaging between 9.5 and 10-minute miles. Probably could use either 90-30 or 30-30, but 90-30 is working for now. I might switch to 60-30 for my next one. We'll see how I'm feeling. Okay, I realize this looks very similar every time. So I could tell you just about anything, I guess, but this is the truth. It's a little after 4 p.m. going out on run number 5 of 6 of the Yeti Ultra Challenge. Boy, it is hot. Oh my gosh, I've been inside. What temperature is it? It's 83. Wonder what that is or feels like. Hot, I'll tell you that. And I have a sense this might be the slowest of the 6 runs, because I'll admit to feeling a little bit stiff. It's because I took a bit of a nap in between, not for the whole time, about an hour. I lay down and felt good to do that, and had to do some work between runs because you guys don't want me neglecting my work. Got some schedules to set up and adjust, and some other things I have to do for Jeff. We're working on some fun stuff. So I worked after the 8 o'clock and then worked some after, worked through the noon, ran the noon, worked after the noon, and then just lay down for about an hour. So I think I'll be good after this to carry me through the 8 o'clock run. That'll be the last run, and then maybe even get to work on editing this video. How about that, huh? Yeah. All right. Don't need the sunglasses anymore because the sun is going down. And it is just a little bit after 8 o'clock p.m. on May 11th. And I am running the last leg of my Yeti Virtual Ultra. And I gotta tell you, virtual seems strange, a strange name. It's virtual because we're not getting together with other people to run it. But by golly, these are not virtual miles. These are real miles. And I am really running them. I'm using my tech ratio. Am I using? I think I'm using 90-30. I could be wrong about that. I just hit start on my Gym Boss. Whatever I was using last time, I'm using that still. I think it is 90-30. And I've been pretty pleased. First mile of each of these has been just kind of a warm-up. And then things have gotten smoother. Oh, thank you. That Galloway timer is so nice. I love it. I love getting to take my walk breaks. Don't you guys love walk breaks? And my wife is out walking. She didn't want to run today, but she wanted to go for a nice after dinner walk. So that's what she's doing. So I expect to see her. And yeah, this is great. We'll do some analysis later. Yes, 90-30, because I've got a minute and a half. See you guys.